What's up, guys? Today we're going to be doing a little bit of mind mapping and we're going to answer a few questions as well as brush up on some of the results that we got from doing our user research. But before we go ahead and jump into doing the mind mapping, I just wanted to thank everyone who has subscribed to this channel. You guys are the reason why I create videos every week. So if you like these videos, give it a thumbs up, leave comments down below if you have questions, and make sure you hit that subscribe button. So anyways, guys, let's go ahead and let's just jump onto the computer for a little bit and let's do a little bit of mind mapping and answer a few questions. Alright guys, so I've got just like a little mind map open here, and we're gonna kind of go over some of those questions that we had answered in the past videos, but I just want to reiterate over some of them and maybe just, see how many pages at least we think we're gonna have in this website. So the first thing we're going to go ahead and answer is, first of all, who is the owner? Well, the owner is me, and then another one is, what features are important to me? Okay, we'll zoom out a little bit. All right, so what features are important to me? So we did briefly go over this a little bit. The two things that are important to me, and I want to touch on these again and have it on a digital. Well, I mean, we wrote it down in text at it before, but I just want to have it on here as well so I can reference it from different computers. So I'm just using Kaggle. So the key features that are important to me are simply having a light and dark mode, and let's see, having a minimal design, and those are essentially those are the key things that I want to have on here for myself. Now let's see, who is the audience? Well, the audience actually has there are a few different people in the audience. So the audience is primarily made up of designers, which we figured out before, YouTube viewers, and just simply the younger generation. And I guess to be more specific on the younger generation, it's the younger generation of the two prior here. So we're not talking about designers and YouTube viewers that are necessarily in their 50s or 60s or anything like that. I do want to stick around to an age group close to mine, if not younger than mine. And if I was to show you some of my analytics that I have on my YouTube videos, you'll find that most of them are either my age or within a couple of years or younger. So I think that is a good idea of who the audience is. And so the other question for them would be, what features are important to them? All right, so let me just separate this out so we can see it a little bit there. So what features are important to them? Well, so some of the features that are important to them, we did go ahead and we did talk and we did do some user research. And if I wanted to go ahead and bring this back to what I thought some of the most important features would be to them, what I originally thought they were going to be would be, inspiration and some of my previous work, and then having like a prominent YouTube page where I talk about the community. That isn't exactly what is important to them. In fact, I don't even think having the inspiration on there is that much of an important thing. I personally think just having a website that's clean enough that when they visit it, it makes them want to go ahead and, figure out how it was built, or maybe encourage them to build something just as cool or just as fun to build because I'm providing them the resources. So realistically, the biggest feature to this website that I've found that hits on all three of those target audience groups. Well, it's more two. audience groups, and the younger generation is kind of just narrowing it down a little bit. So to try and stop rambling a little bit, because it is getting a little late. The most important feature to them is really just displaying YouTube videos. So that seems to be the most consistent thing that I've gotten from them all. And again, I know I just talked about this in my prior video that came out last week, but that was me going over and telling you about the conversations that I've had with these different audience groups and seeing what it is that they wanted. And honestly, this is the most prominent thing right now. So I think we're going to just simply stick with pushing YouTube on this on this website. So I do want it to be fairly media heavy, I guess would be a good a good way to put it. I don't want to like overload it so it's a slow website to load. I just do want to be referencing a lot of videos and allow them to consume some content from the YouTube channel directly on the website. And what I'm thinking that we can do in the beginning of this is if you were to look at YouTube and go ahead and look at the About section, you should be able to see a little bit about, the YouTube channel. So I would essentially want this page in the beginning, and this is just my thought right now. I want it to be a, if you were to think of that About page, I want this website to be like the most advanced version of that About page that it could ever be. So I will be linking to videos and things like that. But now that I do know that displaying YouTube videos is going to be one of the key features, another one of the features for them would be displaying courses. So sometimes there will be standalone content. Sometimes there will be courses that'll go with it. And another thing is it's not really news, but just showing relevant content. So showing relevant, totally not spelling that right. Okay, wow, I can't spell tonight. So showing relevant and up-to-date content. So I think those are the most important features between the three of these groups. Well, the two of these groups, my bad. And to come back over here, this does make me think of another one, aside from just having a simple light and dark mode and having a minimal design. These are just things that I find that I want on this website. One of the other things that I think I want is to just have a better way to curate videos and to display a curated selection of my videos. So let's see, display a curated section of my videos. Okay, so I think that is a pretty good idea right now of what, first of all, who the owner is and who the audience is. That'll just clarify that document that we have from a couple episodes ago, and just adding in that new information that we got from last week. So we've got the important features to me. And I've also been thinking on this a little bit, and that's where this one has come into play a little bit. The display a curated a section of my videos. So let's go ahead and just kind of get a flow. And I don't know, I've got an idea in my mind how this is going to be, and I think it's almost going to be comical how short this is right now, because before I even go into saying what I think this is actually going to be for a website, my initial thought when I had the idea to go ahead and create, this website, go ahead and create this this whole thing here, I was expecting, honestly, and thinking that it would be a very large website. I mean, even mine right now, it's not huge. We've got three main sections of the website, but then each section goes into some sub pages as well. We've got the home page, we have case studies pages where we list out case studies, and you can go into those case studies and read about those case studies. But then we've also got a blog on there where you can go on, look at the blog, and obviously go into each blog post, and things like that. And that's pretty much the extent of it. So it's not a huge website either. It's actually also a fairly small website. But I was thinking this would be something even larger than that. But after doing all this research and writing all this stuff down and doing what we're doing right now, I have found out, and we found out, that is not the case. So that's just another reason why we go ahead and we do this kind of thing. That's why we go ahead and we ask these questions and we get the answers that we need to get, because for us to go ahead and build a 20, 30, 40, 50 page website would be completely counterproductive, as it would set us back and it would still not even reach any of our goals. And these right here, these are what we need to do. These are what I want to do. These are what we need to do. And we want to kind of meet somewhere in the middle. So we're going to have the first page here, and the first page is going to be the home page. Got it. All right. So some of the things, and I'm not going to go into too much detail right here on what is going to be on that homepage, because this isn't really like a document talking about every aspect of the page. I kind of just want to get a rough idea of what's going to be on the page, so we can just see if there's other pages that we're going to need from the get-go. So on this home page, I've already got some stuff in my mind as what I want it to look like, some ideas, and they're not anything really high fidelity. They're low fidelity ideas, but they are in my mind. So aside from having a header and just briefly mentioning, that this is mainly focused in UI and UX design right now, along with the YouTube channel. And development. Okay, so we've got the YouTube channel, UI, UX design, and development. Those are the key things that this website's about. So I want to communicate that in the header in some manner. I don't feel like that's necessary to put right here, because again, if we were to come back and look at what the primary focus is for this website from the 2 episodes ago, you'll know that it is what I just mentioned. So anyways, to try and stop beating around the bush right here, I do want to go ahead and get some YouTube content right up front. So let's get YouTube content up front. And other than that, I do want to kind of have a brief about section to the YouTube channel and what the primary focus of this channel is. Let's go ahead and have a brief overview of the channel. All right, so we got that, a brief overview of the channel. And aside from that, right now at the bottom of the website, it's essentially a call to action, getting them to sign up to a newsletter. I'm not going to do that. I think that we need a call to action for subscribing. Cool. Sick. I like that. Actually, you know what? Another thing. No, I think that's good right there. I think that is good for the homepage. So there will be other pieces of content in here that we will figure out when we're doing some of these sketches. Like I said, I don't know all the content that's going to be on this page. This is just to get an idea of how many pages we're going to need. So something else that I think would be a cool page to have would be like a Patreon page. So Patreon page, and right here I just want to talk about pretty much, again, well, we don't need to hit on what all the YouTube channel is about. We kind of just want to talk about uh, what and how the money, well, how the money will be used if you support, and then have a call to action. So how we utilize funding. Let's see if I can spell utilize funding, and a CTA to the Patreon page. All right, so we've essentially got two pages right here, the home page and the Patreon page. And my thought here is, as this company expands, as the YouTube channel expands, we will go ahead and we'll add new pages. So this is the primary focus of the website, but then we will have some other pages that deal with different like services, maybe, and we can even go into adding a blog, if that's something that it looks like would be beneficial to us and any viewers. But I think that is honestly all we need to focus on right now, after asking all these questions to people and getting all these answers and getting different feedback. And just to give you an idea, I didn't just go ahead and ask one person. I went and asked multiple people. I talked to multiple people, and multiple people from each group. So I've spoken to upwards of like 10 different individuals about what would be beneficial to them. So I think having just this customized bit of content that would direct them to YouTube and have a call to action, trying to get them to subscribe, would be it is the biggest thing. And there are some pages that we can go ahead and we can work in and we can add later on in the future that could literally just be for me. It could just be for us, the YouTube, for whatever, just for fun. So yeah, this is pretty much it. This is what we're going to work on, and we will be working on doing that low fidelity wireframe. But before we go ahead and go, I just wanted to show you real quick. If you go to youtube.com/Zachary R. Newton, check this out. We've got a custom URL. So right here you can see the video is auto playing, but we got 122 subscribers at the moment, so that is awesome. Thank you to everyone who is subscribed. If you haven't, make sure you subscribe, because you're the ones who make this happen, honestly. But I'm super psyched that we got to the point where we can get a custom URL. So go ahead and share that, and that'll be it. Alright guys, that's going to be it for this video. We went ahead, we did a little bit of mind mapping, we got a few more questions answered and out of the way, and we've taken into account the results that we got from doing the user research last week. So that's pretty much it for all of our little prep work we got going on here, answering questions, asking the right questions, figuring out what the audience wants, figuring out who the audience is, and all of that good stuff. We got a good basis there. So next week we are going to go ahead and jump right on into some low fidelity wireframing, and just judging by the answers that we got and from what we just saw here in some of this mind mapping and some of the questions that we just asked, well, the answers to the questions we just asked, it's not going to be a large application at all. Right now I'm thinking it's going to be, well, I said application. It's not going to be a large website at all. I'm thinking it's going to be probably about a 1, maybe 2 page website in the beginning, and I don't plan on, having a entire business company website designed and developed at launch. I think we're going to release it in segments and in modules, or however you want to call that. But right now, in the very beginning, I think we're just going to keep it down to the 1 to 2 pages. Get that designed, get that developed, and get that out there so that part of this website is effective and does its job. And then as we scale and as we grow and as this YouTube channel grows, we will definitely come back here and we will continue working and rework some of these problems. So if we ever break into the world of cinematography, we work on more cinematography projects inside of this company, then we will revisit this company website even after all this is done, and we will go ahead and we will go through a similar process where we figure out, okay, what is useful to that user group, what is it that they need to know, what is it that they need to see to get a benefit, get value from this website, and choose us, or choose us to do their project essentially. And then we'll come through, we'll answer all the questions that we need to answer just like we did now. And then we'll go and we'll do some wireframing and some design, and we'll develop the page out and add it to the website. But I can't wait for the next week. I can't wait to start sketching some wireframes out. It's going to be fun. It's one of my favorite things to do, just because you get to get so many ideas out there on a paper so quickly, and there's so much less friction when you just sketch it out by hand. So that's going to be it for today. I'm going to go ahead and figure out a nice camera setup so I can get a good top-down view, or just any view of a pad that I'm going to be sketching on next week. But alright guys, that's going to be it for this video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. And if you like the content that I'm creating on this channel, head on over to my Patreon account at patreon.com/Zachary R. Newton, where you can help support this channel and help me create better videos every week. Until then, I'll see you guys in the next one.